Have you ever stopped and wondered how ancient civilizations with zero modern technology managed to build a medical system so complex and so sophisticated that it's actually still being used thousands of years later? I mean, how did they pull that off? Okay, let's get into it. So check this out. On the left, you've got this amazing catalog of nature's pharmacy, right? Herbs, minerals, all their properties. And on the right, you see these incredibly precise, really complex prescriptions for specific illnesses. So the big question, the central puzzle is, how did they connect the two? How do you get from a simple list of plants to a targeted clinical recipe? To figure that out, here's what we're going to do. We are going to build an ancient physician from the ground up, and we'll do it by decoding the 3 essential texts that made up their entire knowledge base. Yeah, think of it like we're installing their core software, one ancient scroll at a time. But hold on, before we even talk about cures, we gotta get our heads around the philosophy. Because what we're about to dive into, it's not just some random list of folk remedies. It is a complete, totally logical framework for understanding the human body, health, and how we fit into the universe. Our journey has to start with the first cornerstone, the Huangdi Neijing, otherwise known as the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon. This right here, this is the why. This is the text that lays out the entire theoretical foundation, the very logic that everything else is built on. Honestly, the best way to think about the Neijing is as the operating system for the human body. It doesn't list a single cure. Instead, it defines the absolute bedrock principles, how the body works, how it's connected to the seasons and nature, and the very definition of what it even means to be healthy. So here's the big idea. The Neijing teaches that your body is like a tiny universe, a perfect reflection of the natural world. Health isn't about being germ-free. It's about the smooth, harmonious flow of vital energy, or qi. So when you get sick, it's simply a state of imbalance. And that means a doctor's job isn't just to fix your cough. It's to find the underlying pattern of disharmony that's causing it. This is the brain of our ancient doctor. All right, so our doctor has the theory down. They've got the why. But now they need the what. What do they actually use? That brings us to our second text, the Shennong Ben Cao Jing, or the Divine Farmer's Materia Medica. This text is the essential encyclopedia of everything that doctor could possibly use. You can think of this book as an ancient app store of natural remedies. And what's really cool is how we can decode its logic just by looking at this one entry for chrysanthemum. See, this isn't just a random description. It's written in a very specific code that every single physician would have understood. So what is this code? Well, it's all about an energetic language. Every single substance was classified by 3 things: its taste, its energetic nature, like is it warming or cooling, and its main action. So a plant wasn't just plant X, it was, say, bitter, cold, and clears heat from the head. That energetic profile was the absolute key to knowing exactly how to use it to bring the body back into balance. And this is where it gets really, really smart. The text organized hundreds of these substances into a 3-tiered system. The upper grade stuff was like superfoods, non-toxic, great for long-term health. Middle grade was for fixing imbalances as they came up, and the lower grade, that was the heavy-duty stuff, sometimes toxic, used like powerful medicine for serious acute conditions. I mean, that shows an early grasp of dosage, toxicity, and even preventative medicine. It's incredible. Okay, so our doctor has the philosophy from the Neijing and the tools from the Ben Cao Jing. But that's not quite enough, is it? There's a missing piece. They need to know how to combine everything into a real strategy. And that brings us to our third and final text, the Shang Han Lun. This is the doctor's master playbook, the how. I mean, this is the fundamental question, right? You get the whole theory of balance, and you know the properties of hundreds of herbs. So what? How do you actually put them together? How do you write the prescription for the actual person sitting right in front of you? The answer is right here. The Shang Han Lun is a clinical manual, and it's jam-packed with specific formulas designed to treat specific patterns of disharmony. It's not just a cookbook, it's a user manual, complete with case studies, that connects a diagnosis directly to a precise, multi-ingredient prescription. Let's take a look under the hood of a famous formula from this text, Gui Zhi Tang, to see just how genius this is. It's not a random mix. Each ingredient has a specific job, just like a well-organized team. Cinnamon twig is the leader, pushing the pathogen out. Peony is the deputy, making sure the inside of the body is okay.
Ginger and jujube are assistants, backing them up. And licorice? It's the ambassador, making sure everyone on the team plays nice together. This is pure strategy.
All right, the moment of truth. We've built our doctor. They've got their why, their what, and their how. Now for the real aha moment. Let's see how our physician puts all three texts together in a real-world scenario. So just to recap, here's the entire system on one slide. It's a perfect trinity of knowledge. You've got the why, the Neijing, giving them the whole theory and how to diagnose. In the middle, you've got the what, the Ben Cao Jing, the complete library of tools. And finally, the how, the Shang Han Lun, the playbook that tells them exactly what to do. So picture this. A patient walks in. They've got a fever, but they feel cold and have the chills. Their head is pounding, and they just can't stand a cool breeze. Sounds like a classic cold, right? Well, let's see how our ancient doctor handles it. First things first, using the principles from the Neijing, the doctor doesn't see a virus. They see a pattern, a fight between the body's defensive energy and some external invader, happening right at the surface. Then what? They open their mental playbook, the Shang Han Lun, and bam, this exact pattern is in there. The playbook calls for the Gui Zhi Tang formula. And finally, they assemble that team of ingredients, using the tools from the Ben Cao Jing, picking cinnamon to warm things up, pinyon to harmonize, and so on. Why, what, and how, all working together perfectly. You know, what we've just walked through is so much more than just a history lesson. It's a complete, resilient system of logic that has somehow survived for thousands of years, evolving from words on ancient scrolls to practices used in modern clinics all over the world today. I mean, just look at this timeline for a second. These ideas were being written down around the same time as the Roman Republic. They were formalized into that clinical manual shortly after, and for the next 2,000 years, they were studied, debated, and built upon. And now, here we are in the 21st century, and they're still a living, breathing part of global health. It's just mind-blowing. And I think that really gets to the heart of it. The philosophy here was never about declaring war on a disease or killing a pathogen. The entire goal was to gently guide the body back to a state of harmony, a state of resilience where it's strong enough to take care of itself. So maybe the best way to leave this is with a different image. The system we've explored saw the human body not as a machine with broken parts to be fixed or replaced, but as a garden that needs to be tended. You know, you balance the soil, you make sure there's enough sun and water, and the garden just thrives on its own. It's a really powerful metaphor, and it makes you ask the question, what can we learn from that perspective today?